Scott. This week we're checking out Cartel Tycoon on Steam. This one's actually pretty cool. I haven't played a Tycoon game in a while, so I was pretty excited to jump into this one because right off the bat, man, the music and the layout of this game really got me. We're kind of in this 80s narco trade world, and we're trying to set up our own supply chains and businesses all over this island, and we're trying to expand as much as we can and basically build a drug empire. And you know what? I thought the way this game was presented was actually done really well. There's a story mode, there's a sandbox mode, and there's even a survival mode right now, multiplayer to come in the future. We'll get to that a little bit later. Honestly, right off the bat, man, I did enjoy kind of how this game was introduced to you. In the story mode especially, you kind of get a couple of these characters, you know, there's some text dialogue to go through, but they build up a little bit of a story as you kind of learn how to play this game, and that's something I actually really did enjoy. But as we got through this tutorial, and this was a long tutorial, they did kind of preface at the beginning saying this was going to be about 3 to 5 hours depending on how you play through the tutorial, so I was prepared. But again, that's a pretty long tutorial for most games. I just thought as we kind of got through this tutorial, it started to get kind of difficult to understand some of the things and objectives that they wanted you to kind of achieve as you went through. You really had to learn how to set up the supply chain of the product you wanted to move, and you had to understand the buildings you needed to build and kind of in the order of which you built those buildings to kind of create the efficient supply chain that you're looking for. And there's just certain objectives I found myself kind of looking around a little bit more than I thought I should to be able to complete things. There was just not as much explanation on some of these objectives as I kind of hoped there was. Again, this game is considered an early access, even though it's been out for a couple of years now. So there are some things that we have to kind of take into consideration when we get to, you know, certain mechanics of this game. You know, Scott, what did you think kind of jumping into Cartel Tycoon?
Well, this is definitely not the good old roller coaster tycoon that I remember from 20 years ago, but that may have been the last Tycoon game I've played. It does have such a style about it, and I think that's maybe my favorite part of it was the storyline, the kind of characters that you're dealing with, the way they speak to you. When it comes down to some of the details of the game, it seems a little lacking. There's a lot of warfare that you get involved in, this inner city kind of gang fighting, but it doesn't ever really present that specific piece very well. It's just kind of gunfire noises going off in a building for a few minutes, and then and then it's over with. You either won or you didn't. But when it comes to kind of putting everything together, I've felt a lot of what you're saying, where it's like it's explained to you properly, but without a video to kind of step you through. I was left looking for buttons, menus, kind of unsure of what I was doing. Moving products around with your lieutenant was one that sticks out to me, because you need to almost pause time to make it all work and turn off some parts of transportation. The product is where you want to pick it up, and then you're moving it around. Why am I moving it necessarily when there's a ton of trucks that are going in and out of this place? There's a huge amount of complexity to it, but it wasn't exactly landing with me in a way that I could understand. There are a few things missing at the moment that, annoyingly, it shows you what's missing. And I don't know if that's truly a negative, because it does show you a lot is on the way. When it comes down to it, it's really just a matter of finding the right routes, putting your buildings down in a way that makes sense, but it's also going to be efficient. And that's something that I actually really enjoy. That's the tycoon part of the game, I suppose.
Well, Scott, our time with Cartel Tycoon is coming to an end. You know, we have mixed reviews here from both of us. I think we both want to enjoy this game more than we did. There's some stuff here that just feels a little unfinished as far as, you know, this early access game. We have a roadmap coming, which is nice. It's a peace of mind for the people that are going to spend the $30 to play this game. But if I had to score this 1 out of 10, man, I think I'm going to give it a 6.5. What are you going to give it?
Yeah, I feel like we have almost the same opinion of it after so long with the game. There's a couple issues that just present where I want to understand it, but the menu is just so cluttered. There's a lot of kind of streamlining that needs to happen for this to have more of a pleasant experience. But I do enjoy the style of it. The storylines, as silly as they can get, really had my attention. But there's a lot of shortcomings, hopefully to be fixed in updates later on down the road. I have to give this a 6. I'm not as impressed as I wanted to be.